Hi, this is Dave with Man in the Moon. Today we're going to channel the Man in the Moon and see what's next for us in the, I want to call Trump the person of interest number one, according to Mueller. Let's see what he's got in store for us next. Okay. All right. Trump is really flailing around here in my image. He tries to approach one problem, and before he can even deal with it, there's another problem and another problem and another problem. He's just like a beast at bay, and he really has no idea how to handle any of this stuff. He's always been just blustering. He doesn't really have any of the knowledge that he needs. He doesn't have people around him to help him. He really is just a beast at bay. Imagine, 100 people with spears, poking an animal, and that's sort of where he is. He's a big animal, but he's not smart enough really to know even how to approach these problems of, the attacks going on in his administration, if you will. And it's very, very interesting because I see it as the most important thing is a sort of tripartite. There are three attacks that are the biggest ones. And because there are three of them, and I know there are many inroads into the legal stuff, but I'm seeing very much a triangle as if these three things are really like you can attack two people, you can fight, but three, you just can't manage it. It also makes me think the triangle of the tripartite nation of our government that he can overcome the Senate, but he cannot overcome law, and that's the third branch. And he's really, really angry about it. He's just breaking things. It's funny because I see him breaking ruler like he's trying to break the rule of law. Let's see. So he's very concerned about Ivanka right now, more than anything else. Ivanka just represents the one nice thing about him. She's the one sympathetic person, the one, sort of moment that he has where he's not a total jerk. I'm not saying anything particularly about Ivanka, but that's how he perceives her, as that one good thing, that redeeming thing that he has. That's how he perceives her, and he's very concerned. Uh, yeah, it's all about her. He doesn't care about the other kids as much. It's really all about her. He cares about the other kids in the way that they are a reflection of him, but he actually truly does care for his daughter, and she looks quite concerned. Wow. Okay. His daughter's hair, it's becoming like Rapunzel's, and it just makes me think of her being put in this tower and put in jail. I feel like that could be a possibility. Yeah, actual, prison time. Yeah, I think that's a very real possibility. I keep seeing her, kind of change. Even as I change the subject, I see his daughter, Ivanka Trump, in a jail. So, Spirit, what about the Senate? Was that going to be able to do anything? I mean, are they going to be able to do anything against Trump, or are they going to be willing to? And by that I mean Congress, Senate, House, all that stuff. I do get that Trump will be interrogated. They are asking him a lot of questions, and I can see them asking him like I wouldn't be surprised if he had to testify before Congress. And they're no longer giving him these sort of soft questions. They are really going after him, and he's really getting hot trying to stay afloat. He's just furious that he's being questioned in this way. And there's something about his creepy little assistant. I can't remember the name of the guy who's basically, just hates Mexicans. Miller, Stephen Miller. Yeah, Stephen Miller. There's something up with him. Uh, he's, yeah, he's coming up. And I almost get the feeling that he might turn on Trump. He might want to save his own skin. There's a little bit of him that's considering this. He hasn't decided, but he's considering jumping ship because he's a strictly for himself guy, and he's imagining Miller's imagining his life in prison and what will happen to him, and he's thinking, he's just about his own self-preservation. Hmm. Yeah, don't be surprised if several people start turning each other in. It's like a hot potato and they're all passing it, and they are really getting panicked. People in the White House are getting panicked to the point of thinking of talking to Mueller because they don't want to be the one that's the last to talk. This is really happening. This is very, very much going on right now in the White House. People are looking around, just deciding how they should play it, and it's down to a few days before they make their decision. They know somebody else is going to make a decision and turn them in if they don't do it first. So they're getting really ready to jump ship. I mean, some of them have already. Can we count on Congress? Will they do anything? Well, we can count on Congress to ask serious questions and to neutralize him. Congress will make sure that he doesn't get far, right? Nothing will get passed. He'll be under constant scrutiny. And people like Mitch McConnell are really assessing their political futures. What are we going to do with this guy? He's just making us look worse. Are you going to tell him? I mean, are you going to say something, McConnell? Are you going to do anything, McConnell? Yeah, they're planning right now. They're planning potentially getting rid of him. And this is the Republicans now. They're potentially considering what's the best way for him to leave, and the best way that they consider for him to leave is for him just to voluntarily leave. And people like McConnell are seriously considering that he might just make that suggestion to Donald. He's not going to just do it lightly. He's going to have the backup of a bunch of senators. Are those guys talking right now? Yep. I think McConnell is already talking to some people, some heavy hitters on the Republican side, and they're already considering telling him that he needs to leave or he will face a successful impeachment. Okay, Mitch, are you going to give him any slack there? Are you going to let him go or let him walk? Mitch is kind of not really feeling like a yeah. He's like, I can't stop this investigation. I can't stop the prosecution. I can't stop its association with me, however. And if I get rid of him, if I somehow manage to get him to resign without my fingerprints on it, then I've done as much as I can to help myself and my party, which is McConnell's first, you know, his first notion is for himself and his party. Mm, okay. So let's ask Spirit. Spirit, is he going to be impeached? Yeah, I don't know if they'll actually impeach him. I think that they will get rid of him, but I think they will actually ask him and say you need to go. It might be followed by it might be followed by his rage to such a degree that he actually kind of loses his mind. And I think that he might be forced out of that White House. I mean, they might take him away and put him in a hospital or something and say he's crazy. Like that's how important it is to get rid of this guy for the Republicans. I don't mean for the Democrats. He is not helping the Republican Party right now. He's sinking it, and people like McConnell know it. I think McConnell will do it, and it's specifically McConnell's face that I am seeing. It's not the progressives, it's the old school. I mean, it's not the new Republicans. It is the old school, dyed-in-the-wood Republicans that used to run everything, are looking at their political futures and saying, well, I've been around a long time to know where this is all going. We really don't want to be the party of Richard Nixon. That's not a successful move forward. Practically speaking, he's still got to deal with their base. So if he can keep his hands off of it, it'll be better, a lot better. But he may not be able to do so. Trump will not go lightly, but he may go anyway. All right. So, Spirit, what else is good for us to know right now? Yeah, okay. It's like a tornado. This Mueller investigation is like a tornado. It just spins stuff up into the air so we can all see it. And, the tornado can sometimes be looked at as something that cleans up, in a symbolic sense, of course, that it comes in and cleans. I say like a gigantic tornado, like the greatest tornado of all time. And that's really what's going on. It's just this big cleanup action of everything. And it's going to take a while, and it's all really important to pay attention to. But don't be too drawn up in it. It can take up all your day if you let it. It's just sort of Spirit's advice. Look, limit your time here. If you can get it down to an hour and a half or something of the intake of the internet, do it. It's killing you. It's too much stuff. It's too much information. It's an addiction just like any other addiction. You really must ask yourself, how much pleasure do I get when I'm watching the internet? And how much stress do I get? You can turn some of this stuff off and still be patriotic. You can still spend a certain amount of time finding out what's going on. It would be better if you went ahead and acted on what you do know rather than get more information. What you do know is enough for you to go, do some political work with others. It would also connect you with others. And the real problem right now is that the internet has actually disconnected us in many cases, not everyone, but in some cases, people have become so totally in love with the internet that they really don't go out anymore. This is not a good thing for you. If we want to move forward in the future, you've got to unplug, and you gotta go meet those people. There's political people probably, a block away from you that are the exact same things they want to accomplish. Go meet them, go do something, go be active. Just go when, feed the homeless or help a neighbor or something like that. Anything will make you feel better than just obsessing and obsessing and obsessing. And I know that's easy for disembodied channel to say, but it's not. It's really, really, really important. This may take 10 years to evolve. And think about this. Are you going to spend the next 10 years on the internet? That cannot be healthy for you. Anyone that you would meet, outside of the, argumentation bubble that represents the internet for some people. Obviously, you can go to the net for some better and useful things, right? But be careful. Just be very careful that you don't become detached. This is really what's going on. It's like this new kind of media has descended upon us, and all of the things that's going on around us are really results of this sort of thing that we all believe was going to be a good thing. It was going to help us. Well, there's some negatives about it too, and we're really experiencing that, right? One good thing is that we're going to see the truth. One bad thing is that we're obsessed with finding out the truth. And, the truth will be shown. It's just, we can look at the present investigation, and we can know right now that eventually the truth will be shown. Donald Trump's wings have been totally clipped. There's not much more terrible things that he can do because he's being watched so carefully. This is another good thing that has evolved. Look, this might be painful, but in the long-term future, it will be a good way for us to see who we really are, and we are experiencing a contrast. This is what we don't want, so that we can get what we do want, and that is available to us when we just sort of filter through all this junk, but not before. Spirit, is there, what else can we? I try to act with love, right? It's really difficult in these times. Things are very frustrating, but try to act in love even when you're arguing with someone online, and that's not recommended. Try to do it in such a way that it is actually constructive or appealing, or your intent is to help the person, not your intent is to prove them and show how stupid they are, right? That is the best thing. Try to act in love. The more you do this, the better your life is going to be in general, and the more you'll be able to see a reasonable perspective about what's going on. This really will work out. It really, 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 really will. We will be a better country having gone through this than if it had not happened. We're seeing the truth, and that's always a good thing. In the meantime, be sure to go to your community, make as many friends as you can, go out there, talk to people. A lot of the time you hear people arguing about politics, they're really trying to tell you something else, about their feelings of need or their lack or their own alienation. They're also suffering under this complete media blitz, and they are confused just like everyone else. That's a complete legitimate problem. Try to get to who they really are. This is even more available to you with somebody that you do care about, the person down the street who just needs a little bit of help, that person in the store who just needed a kind word. These are all things that you can do that reconnect you to the society and sort of end our cynicism. We're all feeling very cynical right now. We don't really trust anyone. Well, maybe your neighbor is the person who needs to receive a helping hand, right? And that's just any neighbor, any kind words. Those might be the things that help you restitch the fabric of our nation. All right. Thanks for watching.